Hey up and welcome to another Confident Club Cuppa. Hello Curly.
Hello everybody, hello Steve.
Hello.
Right, we still talked about your book.
Okay.
Whizzing through it, we're on step 8. Don't plan your priorities.
That sounds wildly exciting.
The quote to avoid. If you wish to know your past life, look to your present circumstances. If you wish to know your future life, look to your present actions. Ooh,
Yes.
Buddhist, deep and meaningful, I
Yeah.
like it. So just a couple of things that we're going to read. 2 factors drive how we spend our time. First, there are those things that are urgent, which is best described as the feeling of, I must do it now. Oh, tense, pressurised. Some might say exhilarating. Then there are those things that are important. These are activities that contribute significantly to our goals and have a long-term impact. But a lot of people don't end up in those 2 places, do they?
Yes, this is like time management for idiots, really. There's just 2 things, right? And I think there's 4 categories of time, but I'm not going to go through them all now, right? So the first one are those things that are urgent and important, right? You just described those 2 things, right? So urgent and important is, my mate Tom Rain had a heart attack 3-4 weeks ago,
God,
right?
yeah.
That was definitely urgent and important. It's fine, right?
Well,
it's
it's good, yeah.
But it's like there's a definite sense of urgency and it's important, better sort it out, right? So health issues, small child falling over, you've got to stop everything, pick them up, dust them down, whatever, right? And I would call that, in business, I'd call that firefighting. You know what firefighting is? It's like putting fires out everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then the second category of time is what I'd call a category of quality, Curly. And it's all those things that are just not urgent. They have no feeling of urgency whatsoever, but they're massively important, right? And that's called fire prevention. And it's that simple.
And do people put those off?
Well, just stop for a minute now and think about your to-do list if you've got one, right? I like to have a not to-do list, but we'll talk about it another time maybe. And that just gets put aside for all that urgent stuff that crops in, phones going, as soon as social media, I've got to look on the likes and all that, and stuff takes over, right? And what happens is, so what would be some of the things that in the category of quality, not urgent but important? Well, again, if you think about the heart attack thing, exercise, yoga, going to the gym, whatever.
Yeah.
Do more of that, you're less likely to end up in going down,
Nina in the ambulance.
Nina, indeed,
Yeah.
right, okay. But another classic would be vision, like that stuff like 5 years from now, right? If you're not careful, you're doing all the stuff that's in your direct, this is what I need to do in this week, and you're not doing anything around, but what are we planting now that's going to grow in 5 years
So
time?
in business, that's more like a long-term strategy
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Here's the
isn't
other
it?
big
Planning.
thing. The other thing I would say to this, really, because you're probably familiar with this, but is that some of the best firefighters
Yes.
are also in your organisation, your team, are also some of the best arsonists, right? So they love starting fires. So those people. When I worked in advertising, we had loads of people like this. It's like, oh no, deadline's changed. Oh no, let's get pizzas in and work till 1 in the morning. Isn't it exciting? You go, no, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So
I
you
think
get
every organisation's got
yes,
people
you get
like
the adrenaline junkies, don't you? So just watch out who's starting fires and why, right? So there's fire prevention's where you want to be spending your time, whereas you're just going to be firefighting all the time.
It's exhausting as well.
And so back to that boring phrase, planning priorities, you've got to know what they are. And so the final thing I would say to this is, when somebody comes to you in your organisation, they go, boss, I've got a problem, right? What you should say to them is, no, you haven't, right? Or they've got, no, sorry, more accurately, go, we've got a problem. You go, no, you've got a problem, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Because, I'm happy to give you some help and whatever, but you own this, because what happens is you start owning other people's urgent stuff. If you're boss, it's like all problems are like in the air and they can arise up through organisation, they land on your bloody desk, right?
I'm just nodding because been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yeah.
We're doing in my accountancy practice ages ago.
Did you have a lot of that going on?
I either got this from you or I might have got
You
it
did
from
get it from
Asda.
me.
It was Asda though, wasn't it?
I nicked it off Asda,
Yeah. Asda had a red cap. This was absolutely brilliant, everybody. Top tip just before we finish. So it's a red baseball cap. And it was so you could have time without being interrupted. It may be your book, I've read it somewhere else, that on average you get interrupted every 9 minutes, right? So once you were wearing the red cap, nobody could interrupt you for an hour.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe how much time you could get done.
So, get your plan or whatever you do and go, when putting it, important meeting, but just have
Wear
it with
red cap.
yourself. No, oh, important
Yeah.
meeting. But if somebody says, what are you doing at 10 o'clock? So I'm in an important meeting.
With
Just
myself.
happens just with me because I
Yeah.
am planning my priorities, right?
So on that happy note, bye for now.
I'll see you.